My name is Claire Donovan, and I'm about to tell you how I spent $151,200 over 3 years to buy my childhood home from my own mother without her knowing it, and how my sister Rachel spent those same 3 years stealing $186,000 she claimed was rental income, while planning to take the house for herself. But let's start at the beginning. I'm the younger daughter. Rachel is 4 years older, married to a dental equipment salesman named Derek. Mother to 2 children she photographs constantly but seems to actually parent rarely. I'm single, childless by choice, and a senior data analyst for a tech company in Austin. I make $140,000 a year. I own a condo. I have a retirement account that makes my financial advisor smile. But in the Donovan family hierarchy, Rachel was always the golden child because she gave mom grandchildren and stayed close to home. Never mind that close to home meant she lived in mom's house rent-free for 6 years before marrying Derek. Never mind that those grandchildren visited maybe twice a month despite living 20 minutes away. Our mother, Patricia Donovan, bought her house in Scottsdale, Arizona in 1989 for $185,000. By 2021, it was worth $1.2 million. A 4-bedroom ranch with a pool, mature landscaping, and mountain views. Mom had refinanced twice over the years. When our father died in 2018, she still owed $380,000 on the mortgage. The monthly payment was $4,200 including property taxes and insurance. Dad's death devastated her. He'd handled all the finances. Mom had no idea what she actually owed, what her interest rate was, or when the house would be paid off. She just knew that every month $4,200 left her checking account. Dad's life insurance paid out $250,000. Mom used it to pay off credit cards and make some home repairs. By mid-2019 that money was gone. She was living on Social Security, $1,850 monthly, and a small pension from her years as a school secretary, another $900 monthly. Total monthly income, $2,750. Monthly mortgage, $4,200. Monthly deficit, $1,450. Mom started draining her savings. She had maybe $40,000 left from what she and Dad had accumulated over 40 years of marriage. Rachel's solution? Mom, you should rent out the casita. The casita was a detached guest house. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, kitchenette, about 650 square feet. Dad had built it in 2005 when Grandma Donovan needed care. After Grandma passed in 2012, it sat mostly empty except for when out-of-town relatives visited. I can manage it for you, Rachel offered. I'll find tenants, collect rent, handle maintenance. You won't have to worry about anything. Mom, overwhelmed and grateful, agreed immediately. Rachel listed it on Craigslist in August 2019. She found a tenant, a graduate student named Monica, who paid $1,400 monthly. Deposited directly into Rachel's bank account. It's easier this way, Rachel told Mom. I'll handle the tenant issues and just give you the money. Except Rachel never gave Mom the full $1,400. She gave her $800. After expenses, Rachel explained. I have to cover advertising, maintenance reserves, my management time. $800 is fair. Mom accepted it because she trusted Rachel. Because Rachel was the good daughter who stayed close, who offered to help, who seemed to have everything figured out. But $2,750 in income plus $800 in rent still left Mom short $650 every month. Her savings kept shrinking. I lived in Austin. I visited every 2 months. I called every Sunday. And during one of those calls in March 2021, Mom mentioned she was having trouble making ends meet. How much trouble? I asked. She went quiet. Then, I'm down to about $8,000 in savings. At this rate, I'll be empty by October. Mom, what's your monthly shortfall? Around $650. The mortgage is just, it's so much, Claire. I did the math instantly. She'd run out of money in 12 months. Then what? Foreclosure? Bankruptcy? Moving in with Rachel, who'd absolutely hold it over her forever. Mom, send me your mortgage statement and your budget. She did. I reviewed everything. And I made a decision. I'm going to cover the shortfall, I told her. Claire, no. I can't let you. You're not letting me do anything. I'm doing it. $650 a month. I'll set up automatic transfers to your checking account on the first of every month. Honey, that's too much. Mom, it's nothing. I can afford it. She cried. He thanked me. She made me promise not to tell Rachel because your sister is so proud and she'd feel bad that she couldn't help more. I promised. And I started the transfers in April 2021. But here's what bothered me. Why couldn't Rachel help more? Derek made good money. They lived in a nice house. They drove new cars. They took vacations. Why was Rachel collecting $1,400 monthly from Mom's tenant but only giving Mom $800? What? Expenses ate up $600 every single month. I started digging. I'm a data analyst. Research is what I do. I created a spreadsheet. I tracked everything I could find. Rachel's social media was a gold mine. Instagram post showed a girl's trip to Napa Valley, September 2019. Estimated cost $3,500. New patio furniture, March 2020. I found the exact set online, $4,200. Derek's early 40th birthday present. A golf simulator for their garage, June 2020. Retail price, $8,000. Kitchen renovation, August-October 2020. Based on the photos, $35,000 to $40,000. Family trip to Disney World, December 2020. Minimum cost for family of 4, $6,000. I added it up. In the 18 months after Rachel started managing the casita, she'd spent approximately $55,000 on discretionary purchases. Meanwhile, Mom was draining her life savings at $650 per month. The math didn't work unless Rachel was using that $600 monthly expense buffer as her personal slush fund. I needed proof. In June 2021, I told Mom I was going to cover the entire mortgage. Claire, that's $4,200 a month. I can't let you. Mom, listen to me. You're 71 years old. You shouldn't be stressed about losing your house. I can afford this. Let me do it. But the casita rent. Keep it. Use it for groceries, utilities, whatever you need. I've got the mortgage. She cried again. She said I was too generous. She said she didn't deserve this. I set up automatic payments directly to her mortgage company. Starting July 2021, I paid $4,200 every month. Mom kept the $800 Rachel gave her from the casita rent. Mom's finances stabilized. Her savings account stopped shrinking. She could breathe again. And I kept watching Rachel. By November 2021, I noticed something. Rachel's Instagram showed a new tenant in the casita. The graduate student Monica was gone. Now there was a young professional named James. I did some digging. Property rental listings. Facebook Marketplace. Craigslist. I found Rachel's listing from October 2021. The casita was now rented for $1,650 monthly. But Rachel was still giving Mom $800. So Rachel was now pocketing $850 per month, $10,200 per year, while telling Mom the rent barely covered expenses. I documented everything. Screenshots. Archived listings. Dates. Amounts. In March 2022, the tenant changed again. This time to a couple. Rachel's new listing showed the rent at $1,750 monthly. Mom still received $800. Rachel's theft had increased to $950 per month. I expanded my investigation. I hired a private investigator in Scottsdale, a retired police detective named Marcy Chin who specialized in financial investigations. I need to know everywhere this money is going, I told her. Marcy worked for 6 weeks. Her report, delivered in May 2022, was devastating. Rachel had opened a separate checking account in 2019, one Derek apparently didn't know about. Every rent payment went into this account. From there, Rachel was paying for a gym membership, $180 per month. Paying for her children's private swim lessons, $320 per month. Funding her emergency savings account, averaging $400 per month. Spending on personal shopping, restaurants, and entertainment, averaging $500 per month. Total monthly misappropriation, averaging $1,400 for the first 2 years, then $1,650 after rent increased, then $1,750. Over 3 years, August 2019 to August 2022, Rachel had stolen approximately $55,600 from what should have been Mom's rental income. But it got worse. Marcy also discovered that in January 2022, Rachel had discussed the house situation with a real estate attorney. The consultation notes, which Marcy obtained through a contact, showed Rachel asking about how to establish ownership of property through caretaking, whether long-term financial management could demonstrate entitlement, what happens to property when an elderly owner can't afford payments. Rachel was positioning herself to claim Mom's house. I upgraded Marcy's investigation. I need forensic accounting. Every dollar Rachel has touched regarding that property for the last 3 years. Marcy brought in a certified forensic accountant named David Park. They worked for 3 months. The final report, delivered in November 2022, showed total rental income collected by Rachel, August 2019 to October 2022, $52,800 total given to Mom, $25,600 total misappropriated, $27,200. But there was more. Rachel had also charged Mom $3,400 for casita repairs that cost $1,200, overcharge $2,200. Billed Mom $1,800 for deep cleaning between tenants that Rachel did herself, pure profit, $1,800. Charged $950 for painting supplies, for touch-ups she never actually did, theft, $950. Submitted landscaping bills totaling $4,200 for maintaining casita appeal. The landscaper confirmed Rachel paid him $1,800, theft, $2,400. Total theft through fraudulent billing, $7,350. Grand total stolen from Mom, $34,550. And that didn't include the ongoing theft of $950 monthly that was still happening. I had everything documented. Bank statements, tenant payment records, invoices, contractor confirmations, Rachel's personal account transactions. I scheduled a meeting with an estate planning attorney named Susan Whitfield. I want to make sure my mother's house is protected, I told her. And I want my sister held accountable for what she's stolen. Susan reviewed everything. This is elder financial abuse. It's a felony in Arizona. I don't necessarily want Rachel arrested, I said. I want Mom protected and I want Rachel to face consequences. Can we structure this so I have options? Susan nodded. Your mother needs to update her will and estate plan immediately. Given that you've been paying the mortgage for 18 months, we should also discuss ownership transfer options. We crafted a plan. First, Mom would create a new will, one that clearly stated her wishes and eliminated ambiguity. Second, we'd establish a revocable living trust with me as trustee and successor owner of the house. Third, we'd prepare a full accounting of Rachel's theft to present to the family. Fourth, we'd give Rachel a choice: return the money and walk away or face criminal charges for elder financial abuse. I flew to Scottsdale in December 2022. I took Mom to lunch at her favorite restaurant. Mom, I need to talk to you about something serious. I showed her everything. The bank statements. The rental listings showing increasing rent. The forensic accounting report. The fake invoices. She went pale. Rachel wouldn't. She's been helping me. Mom, Rachel has stolen over $34,000 from you. And she's been planning to claim your house based on her financial management of your affairs. Mom started crying. I trusted her. I know. But we need to protect you. And we need to make sure this house goes where you want it to go. I always thought. I assumed I'd split everything between you girls. Mom, I've paid $75,600 in mortgage payments over the last 18 months. I'm going to continue paying them. Not because I want the house but because I don't want you to lose it. But we need legal protection. She was quiet for a long time. Then, what do you think I should do? I think you should set up a trust. Name me as trustee. Make it clear that the house will be mine when you're gone. Compensation for the mortgage payments, and recognition that Rachel has already taken more than her share through theft. She nodded slowly. Let's do it. We met with Susan Whitfield the next day. Mom signed the trust documents on December 15, 2022. The house was now in the Patricia Donovan Revocable Living Trust. Mom retained the right to live there for life. Upon her death, the property would transfer to me automatically. No probate. No contest period. Clean transfer. Rachel knew nothing about any of this. I continued paying the mortgage. Mom continued taking Rachel's $800 monthly payments. We waited. The confrontation came in August 2023. Mom had a health scare, a minor stroke. She recovered well, but it scared everyone. Rachel suddenly became very interested in Mom's affairs. "We need to talk about your estate planning," Rachel told Mom during a hospital visit. "Make sure everything is in order." Mom, still weak, said, "It's handled." "But have you updated your will recently? Made any changes?" "Everything's taken care of, Rachel." Rachel's eyes narrowed. "Mom, I've been managing your rental property for 4 years. I've helped keep you afloat financially. I think I deserve to know what your plans are." That's when Mom called me. "Claire, Rachel won't stop pushing. She wants to know about the house. I think we need to tell her." "Not yet," I said. "Let's do this right." Family meeting. Everyone present. Full disclosure. We scheduled it for September 10, 2023. Mom's house. Attendees: Mom, Rachel, Derek, me, Aunt Linda, Mom's sister, Aunt Maureen, Dad's sister, and Susan Whitfield. Rachel thought it was a meeting to discuss Mom's care plan after the stroke. She had no idea what was coming. Everyone gathered in Mom's living room. Rachel sat next to Derek, confident and relaxed. She'd brought a folder, probably her own proposals for Mom's care. Susan Whitfield sat at the dining table with her briefcase. Mom started. "I asked everyone here because I need to address some things about my estate and my finances." Rachel jumped in. "Mom, that's great. I actually have some ideas." "Let Mom finish," Aunt Linda said sharply. Mom continued. "When your father died, I struggled financially. The mortgage was $4,200 a month and I only had about $2,750 in income. I was going to lose this house." Rachel nodded sympathetically. "I know, Mom. That's why I helped you rent the casita." "Rachel, please be quiet," Mom said firmly. "What I'm about to say is important." Rachel's expression flickered. Confusion. Then the first hint of concern. Mom looked at me. "Claire, will you explain?" I opened my laptop. Connected it to the TV. Displayed a spreadsheet. In March 2021, Mom told me she was running out of savings. I started covering her mortgage shortfall, $650 monthly. In July 2021, I took over the entire mortgage payment. For the last 26 months, I've paid $4,200 every single month directly to Mom's mortgage company. I showed the bank transfer records on the screen. 26 payments. $4,200 each. Total, $109,200. Rachel's face went white. "You've been paying Mom's mortgage?" "Yes. Mom asked me not to tell you because she didn't want you to feel bad that you couldn't help." I was helping. I was managing the casita." "Let's talk about that." I pulled up the next slide. Rachel's rental listings. August 2019, $1,400. October 2021, $1,650. March 2022, $1,750. These are your listings for the casita. These are the amounts you collected from tenants. Next slide. Mom's bank statements showing Rachel's deposits. Consistent $800 payments. This is what you gave Mom. Every month. $800. Even as the rent increased, you kept giving her $800. Rachel's voice was shrill. There were expenses. Management fees. Maintenance. Really? I pulled up the forensic accounting report. Let's review the expenses. I went through every line item. David Park, the forensic accountant, stood up from where he'd been sitting quietly in the corner. "I'm David Park, certified forensic accountant. I've examined every transaction related to this property for the last 4 years." He pulled out his own folder. Ms. Rachel Donovan collected $52,800 in rental income. She gave her mother $25,600. She misappropriated $27,200. Rachel stood up. "This is insane. You hired an accountant to investigate me." "Sit down, Rachel," Aunt Linda said. David continued. Additionally, Ms. Donovan submitted fraudulent invoices for repairs and maintenance totaling $7,350. She charged her mother for services that were either never performed or wildly inflated. He displayed copies of the fake invoices next to the real contractor receipts. Rachel's face was crimson. Those were legitimate expenses. No, they weren't, David said calmly. I've confirmed with every contractor. You billed your mother $3,400 for repairs that cost $1,200. You charged her $950 for painting supplies that were never purchased. You submitted landscaping bills for $4,200 when the actual cost was $1,800. Derek spoke for the first time. Rachel, what the hell is he talking about? Rachel turned on me. You've been spying on me. You've been building some kind of case against me. I've been documenting your theft from our mother, I said. There's a difference. Mom promised me this house. Rachel screamed. I've been taking care of her. I've been managing her property. You live in Texas. You barely visit. I stood up and walked to the table. I pulled out 3 years of bank statements and slid them across to Rachel. Who paid the $4,200 monthly mortgage since July 2021? Rachel stared at the statements. Her hands shook. Answer the question, Rachel. Who kept Mom from losing this house? Who paid $109,200 over the last 26 months? That doesn't mean. Who stole $34,550 from Mom while pretending to help her? The room was dead silent. David Park stood again. And I found where your sister's rental income actually went. He displayed Rachel's secret checking account transactions. The gym membership. The swim lessons, the shopping trips, the deposits to her personal savings account. You were building a nest egg with money you stole from your mother, David said flatly. Rachel started screaming. Promised me the house. It's decided. I'm the one who. Rachel, Mom's voice cut through the hysteria. I never promised you this house. Rachel froze. Yes, you did. You said. I said I'd take care of things fairly. That's not a promise. And stealing from me isn't fair. Susan Whitfield opened her briefcase. Mrs. Donovan created a revocable living trust on December 15, 2022. The house is now in the trust. She retains life estate rights. Upon her death, the property transfers to Claire as sole beneficiary. She slid the trust documents across the table. Rachel grabbed them. Read the first page. Then the second. Her face went from red to white to gray. You cut me out completely? You stole from me, Rachel, Mom said quietly. For 3 years. And you were planning to claim my house based on financial management, when Claire was the one actually saving it. Aunt Maureen spoke up. Patricia, are you sure about this? I'm absolutely sure, Mom said. Claire has paid over $100,000 in mortgage payments. She's never asked for anything in return. She's never stolen from me. She's never lied to me. Rachel has done all 3. Rachel turned to Derek. Say something. Derek was staring at the forensic accounting report. You have a secret bank account? It's not secret, it's just. You've been depositing rental income into an account I don't know about and using it for gym memberships and shopping? Derek. We're supposed to be saving for the kids' college. You told me we couldn't afford to contribute more to their 529s. The marriage implosion was happening in real time. Rachel spun back to me. You did this. You turned Mom against me. You've been planning this for years. I've been protecting Mom for years, I corrected. There's a difference. Susan Whitfield spoke again. Ms. Rachel Donovan, you have 2 options. Option 1. You sign a repayment agreement for the $34,550 you stole from your mother. The payment plan can be structured over time, but it must be legally binding. Option 2. Rachel asked through gritted teeth. Option 2. We file a police report for elder financial abuse and fraud. In Arizona, this is a Class 2 felony with a sentencing range of 3 to 12.5 years in prison. Rachel's legs gave out. She sat down hard. Derek was staring at his wife like he'd never seen her before. You stole $34,000 from your mother? It wasn't stealing. I was managing. You charged her for repairs you never did. You kept rental income. That's theft, Rachel. Aunt Linda leaned forward. Rachel, sweetheart, sign the repayment agreement. But the house. The house is Claire's, Mom said firmly. It's been decided. You made your choices. These are the consequences. Rachel looked around the room. At Mom's determined face. At Derek's disgust. At her aunt's disappointment. At my calm, unwavering expression. You're all against me, she whispered. No, I said. You're against yourself. You stole from Mom. You lied to everyone. You planned to take a house you didn't earn while I was paying to save it. These are your choices, Rachel. Own them. Susan Whitfield pulled out the repayment agreement. I need an answer. Rachel stared at the document for 30 seconds. Then she grabbed a pen and signed it. $34,550 paid over 48 months. First payment due October 1st. Monthly payment, $719.79. If you miss 2 consecutive payments, the full balance becomes due immediately and we file criminal charges. Rachel signed. Derek stood up. We're leaving. Derek. Now Rachel. They left without another word. Aunt Maureen started crying. Patricia, I had no idea. No one did, Mom said. Rachel was very good at looking helpful while helping herself. The meeting ended quietly. Aunt Linda hugged me. You did the right thing, Claire. I protected Mom. That's all I did. After everyone left, Mom and I sat on her patio. I'm sorry, she said. For what? For not seeing it sooner. For trusting Rachel so completely that I didn't question anything. Mom, she's your daughter. You're supposed to be able to trust your daughter. I should have trusted both my daughters equally. I always thought Rachel needed more support because she had kids, because she stayed close. But you're the one who actually supported me. We sat in silence for a while. What happens now? Mom asked. Now. Rachel makes her payments. She rebuilds her marriage if she can. And you live in this house without financial stress for the rest of your life. And you keep paying the mortgage? I keep paying the mortgage. In 3 more years it's paid off completely. The house will be worth probably $1.4 million by then. And when you're gone, many, many years from now, it becomes mine, free and clear. Do you resent that? Paying all that money? No. I'm investing in your security and my future. That's not resentment. That's strategy. She smiled. You're so much like your father. I'll take that as the highest compliment. Rachel has made every payment. $719.79. On the 1st of every month. She's paid back $12,956.22 so far. Only $21,593.78 to go. She and Derek separated for 4 months but are trying to reconcile. They're in marriage counseling. The kids don't know the full story, just that Aunt Claire helps Grandma with the house. Rachel doesn't come to family gatherings anymore. She drops the kids off for visits with Mom but doesn't stay. Mom and I have gotten closer. I fly to Scottsdale once a month. We cook together. We work in her garden. We watch old movies. I've now paid $145,200 in mortgage payments. The remaining balance is $187,000. At my current payment rate, the house will be paid off in August 2027. Mom is 74 and in good health. She swims every morning. She volunteers at the library. She's dating a retired teacher named Frank who makes her laugh. She's living the life she deserves. Secure, comfortable, free from financial stress. Me. I'm living with the satisfaction of knowing I protected someone who needed it, stood up to someone who deserved it, and secured a future asset that I genuinely earned. People ask if I regret how things went down with Rachel. The answer is no. Rachel had every opportunity to be honest. To help Mom fairly. To build equity in our family relationship instead of stealing equity from Mom's house. She chose theft. She chose deception. She chose to assume she'd inherit something she never earned. I chose protection. I chose documentation. I chose to invest actual money into actual security. That's the difference between entitlement and earning. And when Dad's fork dropped at that family meeting, when Rachel's whole world came crashing down in that moment of accounting, I didn't smile. I just watched someone face the consequences of their own choices. Because sometimes, the most loving thing you can do for a parent is protect them from the child who sees them as an asset instead of a person. Mom's house isn't Rachel's inheritance. It's my investment. And I earned every single square foot. Last week Mom updated her will again. Not the trust, that stays as is, but her personal property and remaining assets. She's leaving Rachel her jewelry and photo albums. She's leaving me her recipe collection and Dad's tools. Why the recipe collection? I asked. Because you're the one who'll actually use them, Mom said. Rachel has never cooked a meal that didn't come from a package. We laughed about that. But then Mom got serious. Claire, do you think Rachel will ever forgive me? I think Rachel will eventually forgive herself, I said. And once she does that, she might be able to understand why you made the choices you made. And us. Will we ever be sisters again? I thought about that. About all the years of taking second place to Rachel. About watching her get praised for mediocrity while my achievements went unnoticed. About the moment I realized she was stealing from our mother while I was saving her. I don't know, Mom. But I know this. I'm the sister who showed up when it mattered. Rachel will have to live with being the sister who didn't. Mom nodded. That's fair. Inside her house, my future house, the mortgage statement sits on the counter. Balance, $187,000. Monthly payment, $4,200. Paid by Claire Donovan. Automatically. Reliably. Without fanfare or expectation of praise. Just the way it should be. Because in the end, inheritance isn't about who asks for it loudest. It's about who earns it quietly.